Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear Neuroguard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room, help with balance when I'm on the baseball.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age or any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out Neuroguard Plus.
Neuroguard mouthpiece makes it easier to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
Neuroguard. It controls my breathing while I'm writing. It stops me getting concussions while I wreck. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
I'm still doing stunts. In the concussions I've got, I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So Neuroguard Plus, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, Neuroguard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Dash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, Neuroguard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
Hey, that was a good point.
I think we might start seeing some go back. All right, to a world, welcome, and it's time to talk a little Class 2A area round right here on Sideline to Sideline, the 2A edition. This segment brought to you by Big Country Blitz. Go to bigcountryblitz.com, check them out. We're not even going to waste time here. We're going to jump right into it. We've got Class 2A Division 1. Again, if you're first time to the show, welcome. What we do in the playoffs is we will reference some games from last week in regarding what's going on this week, but we mainly focus on the week that is in the playoffs, especially the first couple weeks, just because there's so many games. So we're going to start out in Class 2A Division 1. West Texas 11-0 versus Hawley 8-3, 6 p.m. Thursday at Lubbock's Lowry Field. I'm going to say this.
What a game.
Oh,
what
a
second round game. Oh, yeah.
Every game in this region,
I know.
I'm not going to say they're pick'ems, but you wouldn't be completely shocked if a team beat the other team.
Right. Yeah. Let's send it West Texas 11-0. Taking on 8-3 Hawley. Man, that meatloaf, I had it between takes.
Studio
It caught up with me.
Yeah,
Thursday, where's this at? Lowry
Field, Lubbock.
Okay. Senate West Texas 11-0. Hawley 8-3. Man, this game right here is tasty because you got West Texas quarterback Cade Winters, who might be the best player in Region 1, taking on Hawley that has two great receivers in Camden Abels and Braylon Williams, right? I like Stinnett West Texas. I like the fact that they can move the football, and they put up over 50 points a game on average.
Yeah, you look at Hawley, their losses on the year, Albany and Cisco. And
Cisco's a real
and
deal.
De Leon, and we saw what De Leon did last week. We talk about them. I think it's crazy when you go comparing. West Texas won their first game 43-14, and then Hawley won their first game 42-14. I think West Texas wins, but I think this is a dogfight, one possession game. I think it's a little bit higher scoring. I think West Texas wins like 35-31.
I agree, and they'll take on the winner of New Home 9-2. Stanford 7-4. This is over in Colorado City Colorado City, as they call it out there. 7 p.m. on Thursday night. give me New Home in this one. I think New Home and West Texas would be an excellent third round matchup.
Give me New Home, but once again, you look at Stanford's losses by 14 to Albany, by 7 to Lubbock Christian, by 10 to Cisco, by 8 to Hawley. They're going to be in this game, and this is going to be another one possession game. But I'm like you, I like New Home to win. Anson 8-3 versus Spearman 7-4 Friday at Abernathy's Antelope Stadium. I want to real quick say, look, Anson beat Ozona. We took a little bit of crud because people felt we were kind of poo-pooing on Ozona. Look, Christian Villarreal had a great season.
But who had they played?
Exactly. And it wasn't – when we say things like that, we're not knocking the team. We're just pointing it out. And I was talking to other 2A coaches, and they all were saying the same thing. Like, that kid's special. You know, they didn't run him into the ground to get those stats. I mean, he was averaging like 18 carries a game.
Yeah.
But it's who they played, and you looked at who Anson had played on the year 8-3, but their losses were to Hawley, Stanford, and Cisco. That's why we picked them. In saying that, I think Anson wins this one, but Spearman's going to give them everything they can handle.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a very tough, hard-fought game, but I think Anson will come out with the win. But I think this one could go either way. But I like Anson. Just like the Stanford and New Home, I think Stanford could win that game too.
Look, I don't.
I mean, every game here is close in Region 1 area around.
Yeah, and let's finish it with Cisco 10-1 versus Panhandle 9-2. This game is in post at Redman Memorial Stadium Friday at 7 p.m. I mean, look, Cisco's only loss was to Clyde all the way back at the beginning of the year, 33-13. And Clyde's a good team.
Yeah.
And Cisco hasn't lost since then. Of course, we have been on Panhandle's bandwagon all year long, even in their –
because their quarterback, Broxton Robinson.
Yes.
I mean, the best quarterback in 2A, I think.
Their only two losses were to Dalhart. Look how good they are, 42-35, and then to West Texas in that classic 50-49. Now, the question I have for them is, can they handle the physicality of a Cisco Lobo team?
Well, can they handle a dual threat quarterback in Cisco's quarterback, Kobe McElroy, who's just put up godly numbers on both, passing and rushing. I think they're going to struggle defensively against Cisco, but I don't know if Cisco is going to be able to stop Broxton Robinson. I like Panhandle in a close one because I like Panhandle's physicality and their quarterback play. I like Panhandle in a close one. This one could go either way.
I'm going to go with Cisco.
Okay. Don't disagree with that.
Mainly because in this 4 games that are all really close, at least one of them is going to turn out what we're not expecting.
Right.
And I think the Lobos have the pedigree.
This could be the one.
Yes, I think so.
All right.
Let's go to Region 2, Class 2A Division 1. We've got Hamilton 9-2 versus Mildred 9-2 Friday at Robinson's Rocket Field. Hamilton, nobody talks about them. Everybody, and we have been part of it. We've talked about how in this region, it's not the strongest region. And, it's a bunch of not slappies, but it's
gotten a lot better.
It really has.
It is. I mean, there's some heavy hitters in this region.
And I think the thing, though, we need to recognize, you and I do, we talked about it last year, for all that jokes and stuff, then Hamilton goes up against Stanford in the semifinals and goes toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah.
Stanford ended up scoring late to make it a 28-13 game. So I think we do need to give it a little bit more respect to this region. I like Hamilton in this game.
I do too, man. Hamilton has a defense that's only allowing about 12 points a game, though they're going up against a Mildred team with a running back in Trenton Harris, who is tearing it up. He's rushed for almost 2,000 yards so far this year.
I can't get
but I think this Hamilton defensive front can slow down Trenton Harris just enough to get the win. Hamilton's on. I think Hamilton could be special this year.
Yeah, I really do too. And every time I think Mildred, I still go back when they were throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, with that quarterback.
Yep.
God, that
took him to the state championship
10,
before they
years
lost.
ago,
Yep.
right?
Alvord 9-2 versus Price Carlisle 6-5 Friday, Ennis Line Memorial Stadium. Look, I'm gonna tell you
I
this.
like Carlisle.
I do. Damn it, I was gonna say.
And did we not just pass through Carlisle?
Yes, we did last week.
we were running from the cops in West London.
You tried to get us arrested.
Yeah, or New
technically
London,
Kevin.
not West London.
I
New
think
London.
I think it'd be Kevin that would blame on that one.
Yeah,
You
taking
know,
pictures.
when you look at Price Carlisle, they're 6-5, but I mean, dude, their losses are to Mount Enterprise. They held Mount Enterprise, a team averaging, I think, 50 points a game, held them to 32. They lost to Brookhill, a private school. They lost to Shelbyville, a good 3A school, unfortunately, who they had the toughest schedule in the world, too.
Yeah.
Frankston did beat them pretty bad, but damn, Frankston's special. And then they got beat by Mildred by 7 points. I think their 6-5 is more impressive to me than Alvarez 9-2.
Yeah. All right. So we both think it'll be Price Carlisle versus Hamilton in the third round. All right. 9-1 Axtell versus 9-2 Tom Bean Thursday in Kaufman. This is a game we'll be at on Thursday.
Yep.
I like Axtell in this one. I think it could get ugly.
That's a good maybe. Now, I will say this, Tom Bean can score with people, but man, Levi Leathers is such an underrated quarterback for Axtell.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out and put up 400 yards rushing or 400 yards passing, but he's the type of guy that if you need 5 yards, he gets you 6.
Yeah.
If you need him to complete a 3rd and 12, he's going to figure out how to do it. Their only loss on the year is to Cairns, and Cairns is just just one of those teams that always gives Axtell a hard time.
How about they lose to Cairns?
20-14.
Oh,
and then last year they only beat them 16-14. That's just one of those rivalries that Cairns just always seems to get the best of Axtell.
And Axtell has a really good defense, by the way.
Yes.
Kind of underrated defense.
Yes, very underrated. But I do feel that Tom Bean can score on them. The Tomcats on the year,
Yeah, but look at
who they
Tom
played.
Bean, who they played compared to Axtell.
No, exactly. No, and that's why I think at the end of the day, Axtell's a better team.
Yeah.
Tom Bean's 2 losses were in district, 7 to Alvord, and then 6 to Wolf City. And of course, we talked about Wolf City all year, or I did on the KTR show, and their defensive issues. I think it'll be
they got ousted last week.
Yes.
So yeah. All right, and so we both think Axtell will win that ball game.
Yep.
They'll take on the winner of 11-0 Frankston and 8-3 De Leon over in Granbury on Friday. Man, great stadium, by the way.
Yes.
I like Frankston all day long in this one, though. De Leon's pretty darn good. I say all day long. I think Frankston will win by 2 touchdowns, but De Leon has enough gumption, I think, to make it close.
I think this is a 1-possession game. De Leon, their losses to Stanford by 13. They did get their doors beat off by Munster, but I mean, Munster's Munster. They're at a different level. And then they lost the last game of district to lose the district championship by 1 to Hamilton. You can make the case they've played a tougher schedule than Frankston. Now, in saying that,
they might have, but I think Frankston is special this year.
Yeah, I do too. Carson Bizzell, quarterback.
I'm a Frankston fan, man.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
I mean, and this is the only time Frankston's ever gone undefeated. 10-0, now 11-0. Every game now here on out for Frankston is a record-setting game.
Yeah, I mean,
this whole community is behind that Frankston team. And I'll tell you what, if Frankston and Axtell play, we might have to go to that game.
And this is only Frankston's 15th playoff appearance. That's crazy.
Yeah.
To me. In an era of 4 teams getting in, to think about how, we are talking about, is that too many, how hard it is still for some teams to get in. All right, let's go to Region 3. And I think one of the underrated great games of the week.
I'll move to Frankston. I'm going to retire pretty soon. Maybe I'll just move out to Frankston.
You're retiring soon.
And I'm going to, I am. And I might run for mayor or something.
Okay, so when
you vote for me, move to Frankston so you can vote,
and then move back.
Yeah, and then move out. Because your one vote would help.
There's 700 people in the town. It actually might. I'm just saying.
Vote.
I just want to say it's not retirement when you go to work and they ask you to please immediately hand over your credentials, and a guy will escort you out with your stuff. But here's one of the, I think, underrated games of the playoffs this week: Honey Grove 10-1 versus Joaquin.
Region 3, by the way.
Yeah, Region 3. Joaquin 7-4. This game is Friday at Ore City's Rebel Stadium.
That was at the Star last year. Joaquin got the best of Honey Grove.
Yes. Oh, man, that's right.
Yeah.
46-22, right after Honey Grove had not destroyed, but had beaten Wascombe. And we kind of felt Honey Grove was the favorite of that top half of the region. And then Joaquin was able to beat him. I don't think they do this year, but I think it's close.
I don't know. For Honey Grove, is Rylan Morris playing? I heard he had a high ankle sprain.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I thought,
Let me check.
I heard.
I can check real quick. Well,
I think if Rylan Morris is not playing for Honeygrove, then Joaquin and their running back Cooper Bragg outlast Honeygrove. I don't know if that's 100%, but I know Rylan Morris has been a little banged up lately. So if Rylan Morris is playing, Honeygrove wins. If not, then Joaquin wins by 2 touchdowns.
Go on to the next one, and I'm going to check. I'm trying to. I have a Honeygrove thing.
The winner of that one will take on the winner of Elysian Fields 10-1 and Garrison 8-3 Thursday in Henderson Stadium we were at for Gilmer and Athens last week. Great stadium to play in. Give me Elysian Fields in a close one, but I think Avery Yarborough, that running back for Garrison's good enough to keep them in any game, but I like Elysian Fields in a close one.
All right, so my insider for Honeygrove said they didn't play him last week, but they could have. I don't know how true that is. They could have. They said sat him out of an abundance of caution. Talking about Raylan Morris.
So if he's playing, he's healthy, I like Honeygrove.
All right. Now, anyway, sorry. Now back to Elysian Fields Garrison. Who do you have?
I got Elysian Fields in a close.
Oh, I do too, actually. I think a lot of people still look at Garrison. Garrison's had a great year, and their losses are quality losses.
Yeah.
I just think Elysian Fields a little bit deeper. I think Garrison at times offensively can kind of get bogged down by Yarborough. And when we saw them against Wascom, they were
just
at their
not enough of a passing game.
Yes.
This day and age, used to in Class 2A, you didn't need a passing game, right? You could just run. I think now you have to mix it up a little bit.
That's a really good point. We always talk with Coach Brady Carney each week on Munster Coach's Show, and he talks about that. Like, we're in a weird era of 2A where you've got to be able to play some kind of pass defense or have a great pass rush, and you have to be able to pass the ball at least enough.
I mean, who wants to line up against a 10-1 or somebody stacking the box, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With 9 in the box. You just can't do that.
Yep. 100%.
And Elysian Fields quick enough to do that against Garrison. If they can't throw the ball, Elysian Fields defense can handle that. All right. St. Augustine 8-3, Wascom 9-2 over in Henderson on Friday. Gosh, Henderson's getting all the good games.
Yes, they
I
are.
see why. Right?
That place
is a nice place.
We were there for Gilmer Athens. Great game, great atmosphere, and it's going to be rocking this one because I think this is going to be a great game.
Yeah,
I like Wascom.
This could be a quadruple overtime game right here.
Yeah, I think this is going to exactly. I think this
St. Augustine's played a very tough schedule. Wascom's played a pretty good schedule too. Wascom with the better record. I'm going Wascom, but man, I just have no feel on this game.
Yeah, I don't either. You know, St. Augustine was kind of laying in the weeds all year. In fact, I think the couple times we talked them, we probably picked against them on the year. Looking at them, hang on, they were 8-3, 4-1 in district. Their one loss, not being to Garrison, being the Timpson, oddly enough, a team that didn't make the playoffs. They beat Garrison 31-15. They beat Shelbyville 21-6. Their losses were to 4A Westwood. 3A Westwood 42-28. That's not bad. And then Price Carlisle, who we talked about, they lost to them by 6. Since then, they've beaten West Sabine, Huntington, Joaquin 28-21, Garrison 31-15. As we said, man, this. Ooh. I'm going
Wascom in a very close one. Yeah, who knows, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Wascom St. Augustine winner will take on the winner of Jewett Leon 11-0 versus Beckville 8-3 over at Rose Stadium in Tyler. Another great place to watch a playoff game. Beckville lived their life off defense last year. Now their defense is not quite as good, right? They're giving up some point, but offensively, they kind of struggled a little bit to beat Pewitt last week. Leon, man, they got, look, their defense only allows about 9 points a game. So that Leon defense is really good. And their quarterback, Landon Thomas, has been really good all year. I like Leon in a close one.
You know what? I went with Shelbyville.
Leon has not played the schedule that Beckville has.
No, that's a good point.
But I think Leon, even though they're pretty 11-0 record against Beckville's 8-3, should on paper would be like a big time favorite. I think this is a toss up, but I like Leon in a very close one.
Them beating Shelbyville by 15 last week showed me that they're at least on the level with Beckville. As you said, I think Beckville.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, you're right.
I do feel like Beckville's played a tougher schedule, but in their 3 losses, they haven't been real competitive. So that's a little bit of a concern as well. And I think Beckville's one win outside of beating Paul Pewitt, of course, in the playoffs. Their one win they're hanging on is Wascom. And that was a good win, 45-34. But something just tells me Leon Cougars wins this game.
Yep. All right, let's go down to Region 4, man. Area around Crawford versus Kennedy. Crawford 10-1, Kennedy 9-2. This is in Bastrop on Friday. Give me Crawford. I like that defense. I think Crawford's played a little bit tougher schedule. Give me Crawford in this one.
Yeah, give me Crawford in this one. I think by about 2 touchdowns.
All right, and they will take on the winner of 8-3 Mason versus 6-5 Schulenburg at Gupton Stadium Friday in Cedar Park, which is where I kind of expected to go next week for Columbus and Franklin.
We're hoping.
You think it's maybe in College Station?
Well, I just heard that that's where they would prefer, but we don't even know.
This
College
is
Station
a tough one because Schulenburg, their losses, they've got 5 losses, but against good teams. They've been in there really close, but I like Mason in a close one.
Yeah, their losses were to Rogers, Burton, Wallace, Brazos, beat Kennedy, lost to Weimar, lost to Ganado. Now, they haven't been necessarily truly competitive in those. I don't.
But those are all like, 5 really darn good teams.
Playoff teams. And then Mason's losses have been to Wall, Brady, and Junction, all in non-district. Of course, they went perfect in district.
So Wall and Junctions are not bad losses.
No, give me Mason, but this is one I don't really have a feel for.
Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up, right? Yeah. I think it's Mason versus Crawford in the third round.
Yep.
All right, Ganado 10-1 versus Thorndale 8-3 over in Bastrop on Thursday. Give me Ganado.
Yeah, give me Ganado. They'll name their score.
And then Refugio 10-0 versus Rosebud Lot 9-2. At Cougar Stadium in New Braunfels on Friday, 7:00. Give me Refugio.
Give me Refugio, and they will
Refugio and Ganado in the third round.
Ooh, man, that's always a fun one. All right.
Maybe we'll be at that one.
We're just going to continue rocking it on, man. Let's go. Let us reload real quick. Let me put up the next pair of notes. We've got the Class 2A Division 2 there. Let me get our times and locations on our sheet as we quickly transition to Region 1, Class 2A Division 2, area round. I was going to say second round. Area round. The first one is?
All right. The first one is Stratford 8-2 versus Tahoka 7-4 over in Tulia on Friday. Give me Stratford in this one.
Yeah, give me Stratford in this.
I don't think it's even very close.
I was about to say, I think they're just too athletic.
All right. Bovina, they'll take on the winner of 4-5 Bovina versus 7-3 Seagraves in Littlefield on Thursday. Give me Seagraves.
Give me Seagraves.
All right. Here's a good one here, man. Ropesville 10-1, Farwell 7-3. In Littlefield on Friday. Look, Farwell comes in with Colson Allen at quarterback and Coy Miller at running back. Very good offense for Farwell. But this defense for Ropes averages or only allows about 9 points a game, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very good defense. And then they got a really good running back in Ryland Keith, who has 1,210 yards rushing so far. So when you get into these cold weather games, which it should be Friday, a little bit cooler out there in Region 1, when you got a good defense and a solid running game, that's a success. That's a recipe for winning a playoff game. So I think Ropes wins this one big time.
Looking at, Farwell on the year, 7-3, but 3 good losses to Abernathy, to Groover, to Stratford. There's
3 ranked teams.
Yeah,
right
3
there,
ranked teams in the playoffs. Now, there's one common opponent. Farwell beat Sundown 38-26 in non-district. In district, Ropes beat Sundown 54-8.
Yeah.
Again, you can't necessarily mean anything, but it is
A little bit of a measuring stick.
yeah. Oh,
right?
and I'm sorry. There's another one. Sudan. Let's see. What is this one on? Sudan. Farwell beat 56-42.
War torn Sudan.
Yeah, war torn Sudan.
Mm.
And then Ropes beat Sudan 55-13. So that one's a little bit around the same. But give me Ropes in this one.
Yeah, I think Ropes is on course for a special season.
Yeah,
actually.
and we've been talking about them all year. And we both feel
I
that.
don't see anybody that Ropes can't beat in this region. Will they? I don't know, but if they play well and Ropes brings their A game, they can beat anybody in this region and get into the semifinals. All right, Wink 9-2, and Groover 9-2. They'll play the winner of the Ropes Farwell game. But Wink and Groover is in Floydada on Friday, 7:00. Give me Groover in this one in a close one.
Give me Wink. You look at these two teams. I think this is one of the better matchups. Groover on the year 9-2. Their losses were they lose to Stinnett 36-28. They lose to Stratford 40-27. They beat Spearman 42-21. They beat Farwell 56-14. We talked a little bit more about Wink last week. This is a team that they had that really special running back a couple years ago. And then everybody said, okay, that was Wink had a nice run. Now they're going to take a step back, and they just keep getting better and better.
Hey, Wink still has Keeman Fasane.
Yeah,
a record-setting running back in that district, right?
Wink kind of reminds me, except for they actually go deep in the playoffs. Wink kind of reminds me of Divine, how they just always just feed the next guy, and he's going to be. They're all going to always be around 2,500 yards and 25 touchdowns in the season. I like the Wildcats, but I think this is going to be a great game.
All right, let's go to Region 2 area round. Wheeler versus Collinsville. Wheeler 10-1. Collinsville 9-2. This is over in Iowa Park on Friday. So let me set this game up. This is a dandy of a game. If you got your $5 to $8, go see this game right now. If you're in the Wichita Falls area,
I kind of like it when you tell people not to take their money somewhere.
Well, that was all round one, but there's no games like that in 2A Division II in round two.
Yeah,
because 2A Division II is a very stacked division. So Collinsville, man, has been just wiping the field with everybody. Their offense with quarterback Paxton Davidson, receiver Chad Davidson, been putting up tons of points, right?
Yeah.
They're going up against the best defense of 2A Division II in Wheeler. Do you know that Wheeler's defense is only giving up 35 points all year?
All year long, they've yet to give up more than 8
look at all the
points.
shutouts they've had.
Now, I want to know that they lost to Hell Center 8-0 in the third week. I would love, if anybody knows, email us, grantandterry@s2sport.com. Was that a weather game?
Out in that part of the area in August, it could have been a snowstorm, a rainstorm, or it was too hot.
But yeah, you're right. The defense for them is just absolutely wonderful.
Look at all the. Do you have their schedule pulled up? Look at all the shutouts.
That's what I just said. That's 6 shutouts. It's 6. Amazing.
And they only 5 of those were in a row.
Yes, actually, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. I want to make sure I had that. And again, they've not given up more than 8 points yet all year long. Even in that loss, they only gave up 8 points. Now, in saying that, and they've played a solid schedule, Collinsville is the best offense they are going to see this year.
Absolutely, 100%. But I still think Wheeler wins this game in a close one. I think they will make Paxton Davidson earn it.
I kind of feel like Collinsville might win it by 2-3 touchdowns.
Do you?
I just think I love what Wheeler's done. Man. I just think Collinsville has played a way tougher schedule.
Oh, they have.
And I just think this is that classic where Wheeler has a good season where they're at, but if they were sitting over in District 8-2A, I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
Ooh, I don't know.
This is my opinion. That's what I'm paid for.
That's hard to. Yeah,
this is my opinion.
What does Playoff Tree have to say? No, don't. He doesn't. He don't have.
He's not allowed on the 2A. He's on probation from 2A.
All right. They will take on the winner of Wheeler Collinsville. I've got Wheeler. You've got Collinsville.
Yeah.
We'll take on 9-2 Windthorst and 9-2 Lindsay, being played over at Kangaroo Stadium Friday, 7:00. And Weatherford, man, let me tell you, Lindsay had some health issues, right?
Yep.
You got a couple of guys back, still one or two down. But can Lindsey's defense stop Brock Belcher, that quarterback for Lindsey? 3,300 yards passing, 750
You mean for
yards
Wentworth?
rushing. Yeah, what did I say?
You said for Lindsey.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm sorry. For Wentworth. Can Lindsey stop Brock Belcher, quarterback for Wentworth? This is going to be a dandy.
Well, last year was an amazing game as Wentworth scored late to go up 30-27. Then they held Lindsey off on a last minute drive. This year, I think it flips. I think the Knights win this game.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think Wentworth holds serves and wins.
I have
again.
no problem with that. This is one of the truly
true healthy Lindsey team. I think Lindsey wins all day long. But I think Lindsey just is beat up enough where Wentworth is good enough to beat them.
I have no problem. I think this is one of the best games in the class this week.
So if you have $7 or $8,
go to this one. Not
go
the other
to
one.
Weatherford.
Yeah.
Eat it.
And Kangaroo Stadium is a very underrated stadium.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's cookie cutter, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's been redone a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Albany 9-2 versus a 6-5 Quanta team over in Holiday on Friday. Give me Albany in this one.
Give me Albany in this one. Everybody's kind of, it's weird to say sleeping on Albany, but they are, in my opinion, in this region.
Yeah. All right. Munster 9-2, Wellington 9-2 over in Burke Burnett on Friday at 7:00. And is it Burke Burnett or Henrietta that has that really good restaurant? What's the name of the place?
I don't know.
Keith Coffee. You know who he listens to the show.
Oh, okay.
Text me or message us. And I think maybe that was Henrietta, not Burke Burnett. Sorry.
Oh,
I went off the rails. Give me Munster, though. Munster will play Albany in a great third round matchup.
Yeah, give me Munster. They're on a different level right now. Region 3, we got March 6-5 versus Lovelady 9-2, 7 p.m. Friday, Palestine Wildcat Stadium. We told everybody about Mart last week. We tried to explain to y'all, yes, we know they're not Mart of Mart, but they were going to go up against a Cumbie team that might have won district, but in no way could play on the field.
The Cumbites had no answer.
There was no protection of that defense. It leaked over and over, and there was an unplanned pregnancy. I'm just saying that now. And saying that,
and they have.
We're kidding.
It looked like they had Krispy Kreme.
I would say we were punch drunk. We're just drunk at this point. They go up again now. This week, though, it's different. Lovelady can play with Martin. In fact, I think Lovelady wins this game.
Yeah, I think Lovelady wins this game, and that will set up a great third round matchup. Bremont 11-0, Grapeland 8-3, being played over in Madisonville. We've been there before.
Great stadium.
Yeah.
Great steakhouse in downtown too.
Oh boy, yeah. It opens at 5, so you're gonna have to eat really fast to get back to the stadium.
But you know what? The
in
service there was pretty quick when
it was.
We did that.
But,
that's a good point.
You want to savor your steak.
Says the guy who looks like a vacuum the way he sucks them down.
I don't do that. Okay, maybe I do. All right. Grapeland, great team, man. Started out this season really strong, probably a top 5 team, right? Kind of dropped a few in the mid-season.
No, they started out 1-2. I think they were. I think they were a top 5 team though, and then they got beat. But it was Bremont and Frankston.
Yeah,
I mean, in fact, their 3 losses are Bremont, Frankston, and Mount Enterprise.
Did Bremont beat them because they're playing
54-43.
Okay, so we got the rematch, right? Bremont, I think, still undefeated. They still win this game.
Crazy
Tank
thing
Scott,
is,
running back, one of the best running backs in 2A, and then Sam Kasowski at quarterback. Bremont wins this game again. Is it closer than what they played before? Maybe.
I'm saying Grapeland wins.
No way. They do not beat Bremont.
I mean, let's look at last year.
Bremont is my favorite in this region.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, so and part of this is I'm just playing the odds because last year Bremont beat Grapeland in the regular season, 54-50. I'm sorry, last year they lost to Grapeland in the regular season, 44-32, and then beat them in the playoffs, 45-14. This year they beat Grapeland 54-43. So I'm saying that Grapeland flips the script on them and they beat them in this playoffs.
I would say that any other year, I would agree with you. But Bremont is
Dude,
on a
they've
mission.
got Malik Johnson. He might not be Tank Scott, and he's not, but he's a hell of a
Nobody's
running back.
Tank Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Keegan Ash. And the next one, let's go. You like Grapeland. I like Bremont big. I say big by 2 touchdowns to take on Lovelady. And you've got Grapeland taking on Lovelady. All right. Mount Enterprise 11-0 versus a 10-1 Chilton team. This is going to be a dandy. If you got $7, go over to Kemp, Texas, which if you had $7,
no one ever.
yeah, you would not go to Kemp, Texas, other than to go see this game because there ain't crap in Kemp.
A few years ago, there was a hell of a linebacker when they went to the semifinals.
Yeah, but they're outside of that linebacker. There was
nothing.
no.
That was
nothing.
a weird year.
Yeah, Mount Enterprise 11-0 with Keegan Ash setting all kinds of records. Is he gonna get Kenneth Hall's record?
I don't know where he's at on that. I haven't.
He's getting pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's but Mount Enterprise, their defense
Sucks.
leaves a little bit to be desired, right? But they outscore everybody with Keegan Ash at running back. But the thing is, Chilton's defense only allows about 10 points a game.
Yeah. And the one game that they struggled is the one they lost, and that was to Bremont, 48-22. The rest of and Clarksville last week. And I will admit this, I was surprised they had to outlast Clarksville, 50-46. I will chalk that up to just a weird first round.
I got two. Look, okay, Chilton has 2 really good running backs in Xavier Taylor and Monarco Thomas Jr., right? But I think Chilton's defensive defense is really good. Again, only allowing about 10 points a game.
Yeah.
But I think they're a little smallish up front, and they're very quick. I think Keegan Ash can take advantage of that. And I think Mount Enterprise wins a shootout. This is a shootout on the ground.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's
a shootout on the ground because I don't think Mount Enterprise can stop Chilton, and I don't think Chilton can stop Mount Enterprise. I think Mount Enterprise, you know what? I'm kind of going back and forth now.
I'm going with Mount Enterprise.
Now I'm starting to think that maybe Chilton wins in a close one.
First one to 80 wins.
I'm going Chilton in a very close one.
I have no problem with that.
One. I was about to call down Enterprise. I'm
would,
going Chilton in 3 points and under.
And this is no knock on anybody else on Mount Enterprise, but I think if you were to look at the roster, Chilton has the better overall roster. But
I think they're smallish,
Mount Enterprise.
though.
Well, yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying overall roster. But Mount Enterprise has the best player on the field. Yes. Classic case of what will win on that night. All right, last one.
Man, neither defense can have a hiccup. But I think Chilton's defense is better.
All right. Oh, I agree. Overton 7-4 versus Goldwaite 8-3. Friday 7 p.m. at Groesbeck Stadium.
Oh boy, that's a great place to play. Give me Overton in that offense.
Overton's heating up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, they lost to Mount Enterprise on Halloween night, or actually the night before Halloween, 60-42. But I was talking to a friend of mine that's close to their coaching staff, and they actually felt pretty good about that game because, again, and I know everybody moves the ball on Mount Enterprise, but Overton made a couple stops at times, and, you know, which a lot of people don't. Their other losses by 10 to Price Carlisle, by 10 to Grapeland, 44-29 to Lovelady. So their 4 losses are all great losses. Now, in saying that, I mean, Goldwaite's kind of the same way. They're 8-3 on the year, 5-2 in district. Their losses were to Junction, Chilton, and Bremont. Here's the thing. Their offense is feast or famine. When they play bad teams, they score a lot. When they played Chilton, they were shut out. When they played Bremont, they were shut out. So which offense for Goldwaite will we get? I'm like you. I like Overton, but I do think it's a good close game.
Yep. All right, let's go to Region 4 area around Granger 11-0, Yorktown 8-3. This is in Giddings on Friday night. And let me tell you, if you get there early, go to City Market.
Yes.
Man, I love those ribs and that sausage there. Brisket's all right, but man, those ribs and sausage, man. All right, I like Granger in this one, though.
Yeah, I like Granger in this one as well.
All right, they'll take on the winner of Junction and Fall City. Junction 11-0, Fall City 7-4. This is in Bandera on Friday. Actually, Junction wins this game. I think this is a rematch of Junction. Pretty much handled Fall City pretty easily earlier in the season, if I'm not mistaken. I like Junction in this.
Yeah,
one.
they lost. Fall City lost to them 48-0. Fall City has the weird thing where they have
they can play Shiner close.
Exactly, but then they get destroyed by Poth and destroyed by Stockdale and destroyed by Junction, and I don't think anything's changed.
Which are all good teams.
Oh yeah, good teams, but you'd like for them to be at least a little bit competitive in most of those.
Shiner 11-0 versus Bracketville 6-4. This in Pleasanton on Friday at 7:00. Shiner all day long.
Bracketville, you will not bust brackets this week. Shiner
right.
will name their score.
And they will take on the winner of Lavia 10-1 and Iola 8-3. Being played Friday in Port Lavaca. Give me Iola in this one.
Yeah, give me Iola as well. All right. That's going to do it for this week. Now, if people might be saying, man, y'all ran through 2A. Don't worry. We flip it next week. We'll start with 2A. Sometimes the last show on a 3-night, especially with the playoffs, we've got a time limit. We've been doing this for a long time tonight. So anyway, we do appreciate everybody for joining us. Please email the show if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments. Grant and Terry at S2SSport.com. Be safe in your travels. Hey, next week, it's the mythical best part of the playoffs for teams. Every team has playing on Thanksgiving is one of their main goals, and we'll be here to talk about those teams that are playing on Thanksgiving. Until next time, he's Grant, I'm Terry. This is Sideline to Sideline, the 2A edition on L4 Media.
Sitting in my mind.